In my point of view, a hate crime is a crime that is committed due to sex, race, orientation, the way that you look, something that you really don't have control over, that has been a crime against you. Most importantly, something that you don't deserve.
I think the definition of a hate crime from my perspective is any malice from within your heart extended to someone else. It could be, I think you could have a verbal hate crime, absolutely. I think that you could have an intentional hate crime just with your intentions.
The definition of a hate crime, according to dictionary.com, is a crime usually violent, motivated by prejudice or intolerance toward a member of a gender, racial, religious, or social group. The term hate crime was not part of our national vocabulary until the 1980s, when skinheads and other groups were committing continual series of bias-based crimes. What people may not know is that there is another definition to the term hate crime. This definition refers to attacks on gays, lesbians, transgender, and bisexual people. In 1980, the legislature passed a series of laws to help combat bias-based violence. Hate crimes based on sexual orientation have increased since 1995, and still there is no federal statute to protect the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community.
My name is Indy Garcia. I like to skateboard, hang out with my friend Jasmine Jones, hang out with my girlfriend. I was at a basketball game. My girlfriend's a cheerleader, so she cheers for the basketball games. And went to the basketball game at Washington High School in Fremont. And I was at the game and I was hungry, but they only had like hot dogs and like meat stuff. I'm a vegetarian, so I asked another friend of mine to grab some food for me and then bring it. So when she was there, she called me in the parking lot and told me to come out to the parking lot to meet her. So as I was walking out, I saw a group of guys and one girl, two girls, and as I was walking outside, they were yelling at me. Or I guess they were yelling something. I didn't know because I was on the phone. So as soon as I got off the phone, I heard what they were talking about, and I turned around and they were like, "Oh, is that a guy or a girl?" Blah blah blah. And I turned around and I said it was none of their business. So after that, I was walking, and as I was walking, I heard people running behind me. So I thought it was just friends. So I kind of just glanced over, and that's when I saw two guys, and they're bigger than me. I was at like eye level with their chests, so I didn't really see their faces, and they started swinging at me in the face and got jumped.
A proposed federal law pending approval is the Matthew Shepard Act. On March 20th, 2007, the House of Representatives introduced the Law Enforcement Hate Crimes Prevention Act. This act would expand laws of hate crimes to include violent crimes based on sexual orientation, gender expression, gender, and disability as hate crimes. The Matthew Shepard Act was named after the brutal murder of Matthew Shepard, a gay student at the University of Wyoming who was tortured and murdered because of his sexual identity. The Matthew Shepard Act was introduced in April of 2007, but was vetoed by President Bush. Hopefully, with Barack Obama as our president, this bill will be passed.
Looking within these books I see nothing in them. My name is Amikaeyla, proud for Gaston. Let's see, I love to drum, I love to hike, I like to play with my dog. I love to sing and I love to travel. It was the summer before I went to medical school, and I went to the Michigan Women's Music Festival with a friend of mine. There was this beautiful field of flowers. I remember I bent down to smell the flowers, and when I came back up, I heard screaming, and I looked down the road, and I didn't see anything, and when I turned around to look the other direction, I was running into the grill of a big white truck. Once I stopped rolling, I knew I was dying. Feel the impact of the truck. I could feel all my ribs being crushed into my lungs. And the guys actually tried to back up and run me over again to dislodge me so they could keep going. And that's when I found out that the women from the festival had surrounded this truck and started banging on the doors, having them, get out so they can pull me out, and they wouldn't. And, come to find out when the police came, one police officer, and when the cop asked them what happened, they said that they saw Nigger Dyke, to quote them. And the cop said, "Don't worry, boys, one less Nigger Dyke in the world is fine with me." So he let them go. The guys drove away, and they left me on the road to die. Oh, how I wish they'd speak to me, and my grandmother with a story she'd tell.
From the personal view of a teenager, the fact that these crimes are being committed in a steadily increasing rate, and that some states don't even include sexual orientation in hate crimes, makes me feel unsafe, but makes me worry about others in the LGBTQ communities across the world who are being persecuted because of their own orientation and identity. I hope one day that all people can be treated as equals, and I pray that day to come soon. But that won't happen until everyone in the world can be seen as equal in the eyes of the prejudice.